Welcome aboard. We are now landing, inspiring women to shine brighter, lead boldly, and glow from within. Welcome to Pretty Girls Academy.
How about you talk about the thing that you learned recently? Because you told me you learned something recently about
Into my clergy sexual abuse.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, well, essentially, clergy sexual abuse is when a spiritual leader, somebody in a role of spiritual leadership, a pastor, a prophet, an evangelist, it's when someone like that uses their platform to essentially get sexual favors from women. And so what'll happen is that's your spiritual leader. Most people look up to that person. I'm not sure if people are aware, but women attend church more than men do. And I also believe, and this is no shot at a woman, but I feel like women are more impressionable, more inclined to follow somebody who calls himself a spiritual leader. So I think they're more vulnerable. And in that regard, what'll happen is they'll be taken advantage of. And so this spiritual leader will pull you close to them to make you feel special. They'll talk to you about religious stuff. But at the end of the day, their real motive is to get into your pants. There's been 2 counts of clergy sexual abuse in Toronto all last week. One of the pastors fled Canada and went to Brazil. The other one got arrested. It is considered sexual assault.
Wow.
And so as a man of God or someone in a position of power, it is always wise to not deal with the people who follow you. If you need a wife, let God save that wife. Or if you need a wife and you're going to deal with somebody in your congregation, you deal with them in a transparent and honest way. You are a good person when you go about it. You don't be sneaky. You don't deal with multiple women at the same time, and you're definitely not after sex and sex alone. That would be crazy as a spiritual person, especially a pastor. And so I just thought it was just something I learned. It was a nice little term, and it's definitely something that a lot of pastors
You need
have
to send
been.
me that because I need to look into that
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of
I think people need
pastors.
to be knowledgeable about
A
that.
lot of pastors have lost their platform over the last few years. Some of my favorite teachers have gone down and essentially lost their platform due to clergy sexual abuse that happened 23 years ago.
Wow.
So
So you
it
could actually take
is.
it out from the closet from way back then.
You can take it out from the
I
closet. It. I don't believe there's a statute of limitation for this particular thing because it's hard for people to come forward when it happens because of shame and there's guilt behind it.
Wow. Okay, because there's a lot of that happening in the church, especially this one specifically. I think a lot of people are not talking about it because they're afraid of. Actually, no, they're not even afraid. Because, when it happened to me, the culture is that you have to cover your man of God. You have to, you have to protect him. And, like, at the end of the day, he's just a man. Because when this guy was talking to me, when this person started addressing me, it was on that note of, nobody sees you.
Here's the thing, right? Like when wolves hunt, or when other pack animals hunt, like they don't go after the strongest. They don't go after the strongest thing. They pick off the sick and the young, right? Because those are the easy targets to kill. And so, same thing with predators. They don't pick out the strongest person they see. They pick out the people who they consider weak or sickly.
I was looking at the voice messages, right? And this isn't anything like that was plotted or anything. This is just how I am. Like I've always been a lonely person.
Okay.
So it's like me recording conversations with people is just so I could have something when I'm by myself and I'm really down and I can go back and refer to just to like encourage me because this person came to me as that like, oh, like you're misunderstood, like people don't get you. You know what I'm saying? This night for me, like I didn't think like it never occurred to me this person was, and then again that had never happened to me and I wasn't exposed to that kind of stuff ever in my life. So it's like I couldn't perceive it. And so the person, like, it was like reassurance over and over. And the things that, like, I don't think anybody knew. Like, the only person that knew was my leader at some point because when I went to the encounter, which, anyway, that's not the conversation. When I came back from that, I had messaged, I wanted to, like, deliver to this person, like, oh, I don't feel comfortable about this. Like, you don't talk to me at church, but you're always in my DMs. You're following me one day, you have me blocked the next, but you're always calling me. It's until now that I'm realizing that there's no way I'm the only person like this. And like back then, before I even came to the church, I would always hear that, oh, these pastors are sleeping with a woman in the church, and this, like, you shouldn't be using one a platform that's supposed to glorify God so you can get some kitty. Like, it's really, really scary. It's really scary. This person always came to me as that tip. And so I started like really respecting this person and looking at this person like
that's how
a role model.
That's how that works.
And so I was like, oh, so then when
the
person got to that point where it's like it was shifting, it was no like my guard was down.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If I'm going, like, how can I get you if I can't get you comfortable?
Wow.
Like, you have to be familiar with me.
That is so
right? Like, especially if I'm not coming to you with my intentions clear from the get go.
That is so wild.
A lot of guys do that. It's not just.
And I think like it's happening even now. Like that's what this. I feel like God is making this video so evident, and He wants to really echo that even in Ottawa. The fact that it just happened in Toronto, not only did it happen to me, but it's happened to so many of the leaders that are still in the church even now. Yeah. And they're all there in the name of
it's
the
not
person is just a man at the end of the day.
It's not an easy topic to talk about, right? Like,
what does that mean?
Imagine there's shame, right? So you deal with somebody, they treat you weird, and then they just cut you off or what have you, like, and you're in a religious setting where like this is frowned upon anyway. There's shame behind that. You don't really want to talk about stuff like that, and so most people just keep quiet. Most victims keep quiet. Wow. His behavior, like,
kind of send me his peace.
Well,
and like talk to me and like, oh, let me come and take a nap. I'm on my break right now. Like, I'm like, do you not have a car? I Uber to work, like just a bunch of nonsense. Because it's like they know that this guy is a pig and like he won't, to the point where it's like they even got him a wife. And he's still out here messing up. But it's like these are like red flags, like the dangers of that. Like, do you want to look into that and talk about it? Because I think it's just really nonsense.
Like, I think we really touched on it, right? Like, it's just something to be aware of. It normally happens with minors, but it can definitely happen with older people as well. Again, it really just depends on the pastor and what his intentions are and who he goes after.
Yeah, I was younger.
Right.
I was younger when it happened.
It really just
at least when it started.
It's really kind of hard to deny somebody when you attribute spiritual authority to them.
Put it on here so people can read more into it, because I really wanted to highlight that. Like, this morning I woke up and I just really felt like this is the conversation that God wants me to post about for today's upload. Like, I had other plans, but I feel like this is so important. Like, that has me so vexed. Like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. And I was not the only person this person was playing with. It's just so crazy because, like, do you want to get into the backlash? We don't really have to get into details. We could get into the backlash.
Backlash
on how, like, they're messaging us and different.
I think I'll let you get into it. It's not really something I want to talk about.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about, but I'm just saying, like, it's so crazy. Like, we haven't not once spoken about, anything that is tea. Everything has been very much scriptural.
Yeah.
And people are getting so amped and so defensive and sending threatening messages. Are they going to come on the screen? Because we're making awareness to a really, really sick, demonic play. It's just really crazy, y'all. Like, it's really crazy. But God is so good, because y'all got nothing on me. Like, it's just crazy. Like, how you gonna come for me when I'm like, when we're just talking facts? Like, this is not about emotional. This is not about he said, she said. This is purely facts. Like, we don't need another person to verify what we're saying. This is lawful and then theological. Again, y'all got a lot of audacity. I don't know who keeps trying to stir things. And this person, like, if you guys see the screenshot, this person's like, oh, you have 24 hours. Is it 24 hours? Some crazy stuff like that. Or else, blah, blah, blah. Go on. Like, I literally brought my phone today because I really wanted to expose